Good morning. Yeah, I did a couple of slides about how you get good at stuff. And the number one bullet here is from a guy named Matt Pranka, who is a practical shooter, former Delta Force operator, and protege of a guy named Ben Stoker. And he says that 90% of training for all individual sports is done in isolation. I would argue it's probably more than that. If you do a few track days a year, that might be 1% of your total riding in a year. And the other 99% is you by yourself training on your own. If you do the same in the shooting sports space, if you're teaching yourself to shoot, you might go to a coached event once a year, twice a year, and the rest of the time you're just doing it on your own. And I think that's critical because number two, the examples of performers you choose to emulate make all the difference in whether or not you achieve success. We tend to surround ourselves with people who have the same skills that we do, right? It's comfortable, it's friendly, the competition doesn't get out of hand where someone has, someone scored 100 points and somebody else scored one. It's um, it avoids awkward conversations, but it also doesn't help us grow as learners in anything, in any discipline that we choose to do. That kind of flows into my third point, which is training with others limits you to the competency of the top performer within your training group, even if that person calls themselves a coach or says they're a coach. And almost virtually anyone in this day and age can call themselves a coach. The coaches I'm watching now are coaches who put practical examples of their ability online. If they refuse to do that, or they don't want to, or it's uncomfortable for them, or they just don't want to be seen for what they truly are in terms of their own competency, that's a red flag, right? I don't put anything online that shows me in the true light that I am. I see a lot of stuff where people call themselves coaches, and then I see video of them actually doing the sport, whatever the sport might be, and I'm like, oh my God, this person has no real competency in what they're trying to teach other folks, and it's distressing. And it's why I've only chosen now to watch content where the coach themselves or the person talking about what they're doing has practical examples of them actually doing it. Let's move on. The only practical way to measure your skills is doing the thing with others who are better than you or who are champions or subject matter experts in whatever that thing is, whether that's a track day that involves actually competition with other folks, which is kind of a rarity. I think most of the track days or events you would do would be more or less against the clock kind of stuff, but I think the stress of competition, actually wheel to wheel racing with folks, is the only real way to measure whether you can handle the stress of doing what that thing is when you're doing it. And then my second point on this slide is response to failure is the best measurement of success. Do you resign? Do you say, hey man, I'm just going to quit this, or I just don't feel I'm good at this, or give up? Do you make excuses? Um, a lot of excuses would be, well, the test wasn't fair. The modality that we used to measure my skills wasn't fair. Or does it spawn within you what I think is the most important thing? A desire to improve. Boy, I found out I suck at this, right? I got out there with some people who are really good, and I'm not good. And it should breed within you a desire to be better instead of, oh, those people have different rules and I don't want to participate because they're better than me. That's all ego based, right? It's all just saying, well, I'm not going to be as good as them, so I'm not going to try. And third and the last on this slide is elite performers invent new training methods. What I found out, I was looking to see, like, because Pranka is a protege of a guy named Ben Stoker. I was like, well, who taught Ben Stoker? And the answer is nobody taught Ben Stoker. He's self-trained. And he took established dogma that was out there, how people train, usually start out slow and go fast, and he just turned it on its head. He started out fast and then dialed in uh, accuracy after the fact. It was a new way of doing things. And a lot of people invent new ways of doing things. When people tell me there's one way to do things, that's a red flag. when they say you have to be easy on the brakes, and then I watch a video of some guy flying through a corner, not even touching the brakes, or you're going to run wide. There are multiple ways of doing things in every sport, right? And if you say there's one true way, that's a red flag. Anyone who's preaching from an established Bible of whatever it is, don't take that person seriously. They are not telling you the truth, because you can watch the truth in real time with your own eyes and see what people are doing to achieve results. And many people achieve results in many different ways. There is not one singular way to skin a cat. And that is the point of these two slides.